evening and welcome to fourth week at the Oxford Union, where we are delighted to be welcomed this evening by the Rwandan High Commissioner to the UK, Mr Ernest Rwamucyo. And I'm just going to ask you three quick questions. If you'd be so kind as to answer them for our YouTube channel, we'd be so grateful.
Sure.
So the first one is, when was it that you decided what you wanted to do?
Well, very good question. Actually, growing up, my aspiration was to get an education. I grew up a refugee, and accessing education was extremely difficult. So what I aspired to do was to really do all I could to get an education. And what I would do with that education didn't matter, but I knew that once I get an education, I'll be able to do something. I always wanted to do something in the public interest. I was particularly largely because of my background, also as a growing refugee, with a lot of challenges that I could see around society and development. So I always wanted to do something in the public interest, but education was key to that. And there were no role models, no career guidance. You basically had to find a way of ensuring that you stay in a classroom and you pass your exam and you go on from primary to secondary school and lucky to get to university. So thinking of when I really wanted to do something, I think I would respond in that way. But yeah, once I got an education, I think I've been able to work mostly to do work for public interest, which mostly my career has largely been in development. And it's from working in development during a big half of my career that then I came to diplomacy. So a lot of it has been in public service, and I've loved it and I've enjoyed all my job. But it's all because I was able to get an education. Not many of my colleagues were able to do that, so I've been fortunate in many ways.
It's fantastic, amazing, well done. And just in terms of Rwanda, what do you see as the future for Rwanda?
Rwanda has a tremendous future. Of course, Rwanda had a tragic past with a devastating genocide against the Tutsi. We lost over 1 million people in just 100 days. The country was almost a failed state. But 17, 18 years on, it has turned around quite drastically. It's a very stable and secure country now. The economy is growing very strongly. We are having growth of around 8% per year over the last decade. The economy has doubled to a $5 billion economy within the last 10 years. Per capita income has grown quite significantly. Education has expanded, access to education and health. So the Rwandans are more hopeful today and very optimistic about the future than they've ever been in our history. And we see that continuing over the coming years. And I think the next generation of Rwandans are going to be very, very proud of their country.
I'm sure that Rwanda's got a lot to thank you for in helping it get there today. What do you think of the Oxford Union?
Well, very interesting, very good, very well-established union, and certainly debating is something that I used to like debating as a student in school. So to come to Oxford and the Oxford Union since 1823,
Yep.
That's quite a long history.
Yeah.
And so I know that some of the debating that I used to do in school, actually the history, some of the background could have been inspired by what happened here. But yeah, I think it's a legacy to be very proud of, and that I know it has inspired many people, and I think will continue to inspire more. And the culture of debate is one that I particularly admire a lot, because it's a source of ideas, a source of inspiration. And for us who are building a democratic society out of a very tragic history, I think there's a lot that we could learn from the experience that Oxford and the legacy that Oxford Union has set in debating and helping people to get ideas across, stimulating thinking and challenging each other with ideas. It's quite very admirable, and I thank you for the work that you do to keep that culture going.
Well, thank you very much. And tonight you're going to become part of the union's history by speaking here.
Certainly, I'm looking forward to,
well,
to the
we are
next
as
few
well.
months, yeah.
Thank you so very much for coming
Thank you.
here this evening.
Thank you.